Hello again. Just read a rather interesting little article that someone sent me, and I want to turn it into a video. And the title is, Here is How the Clinton Foundation Scam Works. The Clinton scam below is a good, concise summary of how the Clinton Foundation works as a tax-free international money laundering scheme. It will probably eventually prove to be the largest political criminal enterprise in U.S. history. This is a textbook case on how you hide foreign money sent to you and repackage it to be used for your own personal purposes, all tax-free, and here's how it works. 1. You create a separate foreign charity. In this case, one in Canada. 2. Foreign oligarchs and governments, many sworn enemies of the United States, then donate to this Canadian charity. In this case, over 1,000 did, contributing mega millions. I'm sure they did this out of the goodness of their hearts and expected nothing in return. Imagine Putin's buddies waking up one morning and just deciding to send untold millions to a Canadian charity. 3. The Canadian charity then bundles these separate donations and makes a massive donation to the Clinton Foundation. 4. The Clinton Foundation and the cooperating Canadian charity claim Canadian law prohibits the identification of individual donors. As the article indicates, this is not true. 5. The Clinton Foundation then spends some of this money for legitimate good works programs. Unfortunately, experts believe that it is in the order of 10%. Much of the balance goes to enrich the Clintons' pay salaries to untold numbers of hanger-oners and fund lavish travel, etc. Again, virtually all tax-free, which means you and I are subsidizing it. 6. The Clinton Foundation, with access to the world's best accountants, somehow fails to report much of this on their tax filings. They discover these clerical errors and begin the process of refiling 5 years of tax returns. 7. Net result, foreign money, much of it from enemies of the U.S., goes into the Clintons' pockets tax-free and untraceable back to the original donor. This is the textbook definition of money laundering. The linkage between these foreign donations and favors done by the Clintons, including Hillary as Secretary of State, will be the subject of a future note from this humble correspondent. This will extend money laundering into bribery and treason. Oh, by the way, the Canadian charity includes as a principal one Frank Giustra, that's Giustra. Google him. He is the guy who was central to the formation of Uranium One, the Canadian company that somehow acquired massive U.S. uranium interests and then sold them to an organization controlled by Russia and Putin. This transaction required U.S. State Department approval, and guess who was Secretary of State when the approval was granted? As an aside, imagine how former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell feels. The poor schlep is in jail because he and his wife took $165,000 in gifts and loans for doing minor favors for a guy promoting a vitamin company. Not legal, but not exactly putting U.S. security at risk. Sarcasm aside, if you're still not persuaded that this was a cleverly structured way to get unidentified foreign money to the Clintons, ask yourself this: why did these foreign interests funnel money through a Canadian charity? Why not donate directly to the Clinton Foundation? Better yet, why not donate money directly to the people, organization, and countries in need? This is the essence of money laundering and influence peddling. Now you know why Hillary's destruction of 30,000 emails was a risk she was willing to take. One smoking gun email would land her in jail. If you do not see any problem with Hillary and Bill and their crime family operation, you have a serious lack of education, common sense, and or good judgment. Anyway, please read and weep. These grifters could someday be back in the White House. It goes on to say, freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass this to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. You know who said that? Ronald Reagan. Do you have any doubt that this is exactly what the Clinton Foundation was all about? It's a crime enterprise, a massive crime enterprise. Will Hillary trade in her pantsuit for a jumpsuit? Will Bill end up going to a federal prison along with her? I sure as hell hope so. The good news is Obama can't stand the Clintons. So I wouldn't be too surprised if in the next couple of months we're going to have Hairplug Biden come out as a contender once Hillary's arrested. Then again, I don't think Hairplug Biden will come out. And the reason that is that he knows that we know he's an idiot. And I think he'd rather go off into the wild blue yonder, not being humiliated by having the American people totally ignore him. Who's going to run? Well, if you've been watching my videos, you know who I think's going to run. And that's that transgender pretending to be a female, living at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue with who? With the chosen one. That's sort of what I think. Let me know what you think. You think Hillary will be responsible in paying for her crimes? You think Bill will as well? You think Michael will soon run for the Oval Office? Let me know what you think. You sure as heck know what I think.